Faith can move mountains. Radio Maria, 91.3 FM.
The voice of truth.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Moments of Realities on Radio Maria, 91.3, the voice of truth. It's your lady, Eucharia, Okafor. That lady that the grandfather was born on a 4th day, and the grandfather was named Okafor. How are you today? You know, it's always a good time every Thursday, 4 p.m. because we have one or two interesting topics to either discuss, or we have this very lovely story to hear and share. Now, today, we have something very, very exciting to discuss about. But you know, it's always in my usual habits to care. So, how are you doing today? To my listeners all over, how are you doing today? How has the day been? Are you in school? Are you at workplace? Are you in business area? Wherever you are you in the church? How are you? It's very good you have tuned to Radio Maria 91.3 FM, the station that keeps you informed and never deformed, and the program that gives you the realities of life and lovely stories. So, and today, like I said, we have another interesting topic. I titled it Airplane Parenting. Airplane Parenting. Airplane parenting. But before I begin to give details, there is something I need some of my listeners' advice on. It's about a young boy who met me and seek for an advice, and I'm yet to give him that advice. So I want to gather advice from my listeners so that I can know what to say. This boy loves to play football, but the father is seeing it as him being wayward or planning to be wayward. So I will give you more details when I'm done with what I titled Airplane Parenting. So let's go for a short break, very short one. When we come back, let's discuss about it. Welcome back to Moments of Realities on Radio Maria 91.3, the voice of truth. And we want to discuss what I titled Airplane Parenting. What is airplane parenting? Airplane parenting are those parents who constantly remove obstacles so that their children do not have to deal with challenges or frustrations. Yes. These are the parents that tend to provide whatever their children want. Sometimes even before they notice they have need, you have already provided for them. These are parents who tend to do everything for their children. Most of the time, those children, they end up being, they depend on them totally. Sometimes they seek their approval for everything. Parents who don't want their children to stress themselves. Sometimes, to my own little research, and I found out that some parents who do these things unconsciously are those parents who will say, I don't want my child to suffer the kind of suffer where I suffer. I don't want my pikin suffer or pass through what I pass through. Now, I want us to digest that comment. Now, that which you call suffer, was it actually suffering or some life processes that you passed through to become who you are today? Is that what you have titled suffer? And this particular child, or these are children, you are actually praying and aspiring they become better than you. That is our prayer. They become better, they become wiser, they become smarter. Are you an airplane father or mother? Are you practicing airplane parenting? Hyper involvement disempowers children. You are essentially doing everything for them. Sometimes you get to provide solutions. Sometimes before the child will think of, Mommy, how do I solve this thing? You have already given the child solution on how to solve it. The child don't bother to think about it. And this is the child you want to be better than you. That which you identify as suffering, was it actually that you suffered or you passed through some challenges that made you who you are? And funny enough, it is this suffering that makes you one of the best medical doctors in your department. It is this thing you call suffering that makes you one of the senior lawyers in your legal legal office. It's one of this is this suffering that makes you one of the business tycoon we have in Nigeria. You are among the bourgeois. Is this suffering that makes you one of the best lecturers or good academicians we have, and you did not die in it. Now you actually give birth to a child whom you want to be higher than you, but this child will not take any risk. This child will not encounter challenges. This child don't need to stress himself. Please, where will this child get this knowledge to be better than you? In a very comfortable zone. That's where the child will get it. Sometimes I also feel that single mom, single dad, sometimes widowers, they also make this mistake too. Unconsciously, I lost their mother, I don't want them to feel hurt, so you provide for them whatever they want, because you don't want them to feel hurt, because you don't want them to remember. How do they actually get strong? Some single mothers, because their father abandoned you out of emotion, you threw every love on this child. Yes, this child becomes your all and all. This child becomes your companion. Unconsciously, you wouldn't want this child to stress his or herself. Sometimes if the child falls ill, it's like your whole life has gone. Now, when you are not around, how do this child actually make decisions? Are you an airplane parent? Think about it. This, I don't want my children to suffer the kind suffer I suffer. It's making us deny these children some knowledge, some important life process they should go through. And I think we need to adjust. Provided that which you allow the child do is not what will take the child's life. Let the child learn by herself or by himself that when you do things like this way, this is the outcome of it. From solving one equation, you are able to solve two. From solving two equations, you begin to gain knowledge on how to solve other equations without even asking. When you're not around, they can take up responsibility and give you a very interesting feedback. And sometimes, some of all these airplane parenting give birth to very intelligent children. You deny them that opportunity to grow that knowledge. Please, let us adjust. Identify what you call suffering. Be able to differentiate it. Be able to know if you are denying this child the necessary knowledge this child needs to know, in the name of you don't want the child to pass through what you pass through. Let's go for a short break. When we come back, I have questions to ask so that probably you can help me on how to advise this little boy who wants to play football but the daddy refused. Let's go for a short break. When we come back, I will call out the phone lines and let's talk about it. Welcome back. This is Moments of Realities on Radio Maria 91.3, and it's Eucharia talking with you. Now, I want to call out the phone lines, but before then, I need an advice from my listeners. A young boy in his early 20s has this undying passion to play football, but the father refused totally and see that passion as attempting to be wayward. The father is a strict man who has always luckily has his way over his children. He suggests the course you should read, advise you probably to read it, make sure that you get to one of the good private universities in Nigeria, come out and ensure that you have a good job. Now, this boy said, I don't want to follow my siblings or my family pattern. I want to play football. And he is very good in playing this football. Now, he got to school. He got admission and went to the university, a private university. He's in 300 level. But his results were not nice. So the father said, I told you, you are not going to play this football. And look at your results, they are not nice. You are going to go back to register for JAM and start up again. And at the moment, this guy or this young boy has some trials that will give him that opportunity to travel out and play football. The boy wants to make sure he partake in those trials, because when he's able to partake in it, he's been selected among the best, then he travels to play the football. That is not even a discussion to the father's hearing. He doesn't want to hear it. The whole house has made him feel totally uncomfortable that he actually had to leave the house for a while. They don't want to understand that I want to play this football. I love this football. I dream of football. I eat. I think of this football. I want to play football. Allow me to play football. Now, I just have 1 year to leave the school. And daddy is saying my result is not good. I have to go back and start again, because he wants me to come out with a first class and give him a good job. By him coming out from university, he wouldn't have stress in getting a good job. So the father wants him to go back, finish up, so that he will have first class, because the results is bad. So he's going back to get a first class. That is what the father wants, and get a job. The football is not a discussion at all. And this boy needs an advice. How can we help him? The number to call is 081 084 475 18 081 084 475 18. Okay. Hello, good afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good afternoon. My name is Chimezie from Obalada.
Okay, Chimezie, welcome to the program. On a brief one, what is your opinion?
Between the father and the son, one word I want to use first is that common sense is not common.
Yeah.
Because person like Emeka who was sent to study abroad, he read history and he come back and went into Nigerian army as a constable.
Yes.
Sam Okwaraji was a well-known lawyer. He's a barrister, but he still plays football. So, if my son wants to use number 6, he cannot stand and say no to the father.
Yeah.
But he should have used common sense and approach the father's demand. If he's the father, he has the authority to bless him, and he has no any way going with others. That's number one. Then for the man, sometimes you apply caution in things of life.
Yeah.
I don't know whether the man is listening to, but I have to say it out. Sometimes you apply caution in things of life, because for that boy to go wandering about, he needed a support from him.
Yeah.
And he should have had a way to bring this boy down to whatever he needs, even though the football is his local church.
Okay, thank you very much.
As an operation is not a bad one.
Yeah.
At this moment.
Okay.
So let all of them apply caution. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chimezie, for your contribution. That's very lovely. Okay, we've actually had a lot of contribution this evening, a lot of information, and I'm actually happy. I believe the boy in question is listening, and at least I've gathered enough ideas. So when we have to sit this evening or probably tomorrow, we can know how we can talk to each other and how to help him out. And I pray that the father will like one of the callers said, we'll be coming down. We just take it easy and allow this boy, because even the man in question, he's even financially capable to take him out to play this football, but just that word football offense, he doesn't want to hear it. He has the money to take this boy out and play football, but he always sees that is not a discussion at all. So we'll be wrapping up once we go for a short break and come back, wrap up for this program. Thank you very much. Welcome back to Moments of Reality. Now we are going to wrap up with this program. So before I leave the studio, I want to advise, if you know you are practicing airplane parenting, please have it in mind that that child, you are actually killing the ability of that child to become a man or a woman. Allow them to sometimes do things themselves. Allow them to encounter some challenges. It will help them grow better. And sometimes they end up knowing more of your value. Let me use myself as a little example. My mom has always have this correction she's always giving us. That's before I got into secondary school. My mom loves boarding school. So whenever I use the toilet, she will say, make sure you flush it. I will flush. Sometimes I will forget. Sometimes I will just, come back, keep my clothes. She will, scold me. Most of the time, she'll say, do this, I don't listen. Could you imagine the very first day I got to the boarding school? I pull, and as usual, want to forget. And unluckily for me, I used a senior's toilet. Coming out, I received 2 resounding slaps. And from that moment, I don't forget to flush the toilet whenever I use it. So sometimes challenges do not kill. And to our parents who always want their children to do what they want, remember, it took 2 persons to give birth to this child, 2 genes. So what you like or what you feel that you have passion for might not actually be what that child like. But why don't we guide them? If what they like is not something that will kill them, it's not something that is harmful, guide them. You might just be bringing the best out of that child. Thank you very much. This is the end of the program. Remember, it's every Thursday, 4 p.m. on Moments of Reality, Radio Maria 91.3, the voice of truth. See you. Bye.